All right, everybody, welcome back to Birds and Blues Sports. I know we took like a week off, which was pretty necessary. I was nursing some type of flu. I have no idea what it was, but finally 9 days later, I'm feeling finally decent enough to hop on the airwaves here. But
Pro Bowl week anyway. That shit don't matter.
yeah, it was don't need it. Don't need it. So decent amount to talk about here a little bit today. It's just gonna be me and Pete. Ray is in a third world country. Dan is shout out Ray. Dan is still doing nights. Shout out Dan.
And ho,
um, so let's just kind of talk about the Super Bowl a little bit because we could branch off on a lot of different things here. Um,
Super Bowl weekend. Let's
Super
go,
Super Bowl
baby.
weekend, Kansas City Chiefs playing the San Francisco 49ers.
In Las Vegas, the home of the Las Vegas Raiders. It's almost sacrilege to have the Niners and the Chiefs in a Super Bowl in the Raiders home stadium. Terrible.
Yeah, that must suck.
Yeah, it's a giant kick in the jewels right now, let me tell you.
Listen, it happens. It happens. So yeah, we got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey and all the Swifties going up against Brock Purdy, CMC, Big George, and all those boys over in San Francisco. Obviously, the 49ers are the better team. They're the more talented team. Um, they're probably better at every skill position, um, no matter where you look. But unfortunately, when Patrick
However,
is on the other side, it is pretty much the great equalizer.
Andy
And
Reid too. Don't leave him out.
Andy Reid as well. Chiefs are fielding probably their best defense that they have had in the Patrick Mahomes era. So there's also that to consider. The 49ers defense is also pretty stacked, really, really strong front seven. But you could throw on them. Their corners aren't anything special. Um, I personally, I think the Chiefs are going to win. I know Miss T Swizzle is going to be performing in Japan the day of the Super Bowl, and there's apparently a plan to get her to the Super Bowl before it ends at some point.
Her jet is going to be putting miles on.
Oh yeah, her private jet is going to be going Mach 38 and is going to be putting more pollution than you and me ever will, even though she likes to remind everyone about pollution and climate control. Um had to throw that in there a little bit.
All right, all right. Listen. This Super Bowl is shaping up to be a banger. I mean, all year we've talked about the 49ers, right? They were in a class of their own. Christian McCaffrey was the cheat code. Bet on him, you cash out. Bet on him, you cash out. And then we kind of talked a lot of shit about the Chiefs. How wow, they not looking like the Chiefs. Man, they're really feeling missing Tyreek Hill finally this season. It's caught up to them. Travis Kelsey's washed. What are they going to do? And then we said, playoff time. Better check them. And sure enough, playoff Patty Mahomes steps up and, yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oh, Travis Kelsey's back. He's catching 6 balls a game, 100 yards, multiple tuds, and the Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl. I
That
think
AFC championship game was so disgusting. It was refereed so disgusting. It was so fucking blatant. Like it was
we knew this though. This was nothing
I
new.
I know this is nothing new, but like when you know that the NFL just wanted them in the fucking Super Bowl because they wanted Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl, like it turns me off, man. Like that's why I think the Chiefs are gonna win because they want to make sure they hand that fucking trophy off to Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift on the fucking stage with 500 million people watching the game, and then they're gonna tell you to get your Pfizer shot and fucking, whatever. I'm not a fan.
Here's the scenario right now. You ready for it? Chiefs win.
Hmm.
Travis Kelce, Super Bowl MVP,
Oh Lord.
gets the ring, announces on the stage as he's holding the Lombardi, I'm retiring.
Good.
Hands the trophy over to Patrick Mahomes, and then he turns and looks at Taylor Swift, drops down to one knee, and will you marry me, Taylor? Swifties going banana lands. The guy walks away with the Super Bowl trophy and the girl and the story.
So stupid.
And then they hit him with the get your Pfizer shot today. Vote for Biden.
Yeah, exactly. It's all this big ass plan. And that's why I'm hoping the 49ers somehow win, because in football terms, they should win. But, the money's not there. The money is all on, the Chiefs. Oh my God, dude. If they actually do that, if he
No,
fucking proposes to her,
to happen. But I will say, this game is going to be a banger. I think the over under right now, I think it's like 47 and a half.
I think it'll be high scoring.
Shoot that through the fucking moon. And
They
then
want the Super Bowl high scoring, so it's gonna be.
I think, honestly, I think the experience comes into the factor. Chiefs have done this. Brock Purdy, I love the guy. What a great story. Mr. Irrelevant to now playing in the Super Bowl. Probably would have played in the Super Bowl last year if he didn't blow his elbow out.
He would have.
But I think experience gets him this time. This is kind of reminiscent of, remember Patrick Mahomes when he was in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady? It was
He
the
got
young.
sacked. He got sacked 8 times that game.
Listen, I don't sleep on Chris Jones in that Chiefs defense. Chris Jones is a game wrecker.
I'm not sleeping on that Chiefs defense. I just said that that's the best defense they've fielded since Patrick Mahomes took over as a starter. But you know what? You bring up a really good point. The main question that has kind of been surrounding the whole season with the 49ers is not really Christian McCaffrey. We kind of know what Christian McCaffrey is.
He's a dog.
And he is the closest thing you're going to get to a football guarantee. But the real question has been, is Brock Purdy really good? Like, is he just a product of the system? Is he a product? Obviously, he's better at the system than Jimmy G is.
He runs that. I don't think anybody runs that system better than Brock Purdy.
Exactly. Does he have any, I don't think he has any crazy arm talent. I don't think he's a crazy athlete. I just think he makes the throws that is needed to be made, and he does it very accurately, and he's been throwing the ball a lot down the field. He leads the league in every major statistical category when you're throwing the ball more than 10 yards past the line of scrimmage. I mean, I don't think he's a special quarterback. I do think he's a good quarterback, because you have to be a good quarterback in order to fucking be here, in my opinion.
I mean,
I think he's good. I do think he's a system guy who is running the system to literal perfection. I mean, listen, if Dan Campbell doesn't blow the game, we're having a totally different conversation. I mean, Dan Campbell literally decided to just completely alienate himself and just the whole city of Detroit.
Get to my guns. I'm going for it on fourth down, no matter what.
No matter what. And, just the Lions really should be in this game, but
that's why they're not. So,
yeah, and that's why they're not, because their coach is an idiot. But
he's jacked up on coffee all day. But to your point, I mean, look at some Super Bowl quarterbacks. You don't have to be a great quarterback to be in the Super Bowl. I mean, Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl ring. Brad Johnson has a Super Bowl ring. Rex Grossman was a Super Bowl quarterback. I mean, these are names that they're not top tier quarterbacks, but
Hostetler for the Giants, he was the backup. Sims got hurt in the playoffs. He fucking won the Super Bowl.
So, I mean, I think I'm not taking anything away from Brock Purdy. I think he's a good quarterback, and
I
in
just
that,
think it's unfair. Like it's unfair to just say, nah, he sucks. It's the team around him.
yeah,
I just think that's
I
unfair. You know, we
because
have a large enough sample size now.
I mean he's like you said statistically he he's a gamer. So, but I mean that team is loaded with weapons outside of Christian McCaffrey. You still have Debo Samuel, who is a threat wherever you put him on the field. Brandon Ayuk, tremendous wide receiver, and George Kittle. I don't think he gets his flowers enough. He he kind of just he's one of those guys that he's under the radar, but he's a dog.
He's probably the best tight end in the league. I mean, Travis Kelce literally said it himself. Obviously, he's doing the right thing, and he's like, oh yeah, no, this is. But like people have been saying that for a little while. Like George Kittle is the best complete package tight ends. Like no one blocks better than him. Like he's just a freak blocker in the run, great pass protector, and can still teach a mismatch nightmare. You know, no one talks enough about George Kittle and what he does because he does all the dirty stuff, the stuff that's not pretty. And but you know what? The people that know. And Travis Kelce knows more than anybody else about the tight end position. So well, I think it's going to be a really good game. I do believe Brock Purdy's good. Um, I do think the Chiefs are going to win for my previous aforementioned reasons. I do hope that this doesn't turn into too much of a circus because I just feel like that's what this NFL season has been, just a giant fucking circus. And I can't wait for it to be over. I'm so looking forward to baseball season. Um, you know, the only thing that was missing this year in the NFL was the Bears on the unicycles. So
Oh, you didn't see them? You missed them?
I mean, I must have missed them because I was too sick of watching the Giants just be atrocious again. So I that's my 2 cents on Super Bowl 58.
I I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up. I think we're in for a really good game. I
I
think
think
this
the game will be good. I think
yeah.
the game will be good and entertaining because that's what it should be. That's what they want it to be. I don't think too many flags are going to be thrown here until the last 2 minutes when the Chiefs need them. So listen, tell me I'm tell me I'm wrong. I watched it firsthand in person at MetLife Stadium.
I was there.
I know. We were you and me. We watched it in real time. The referee is going, nah, listen. Chiefs aren't supposed to lose this game here.
But
So
I mean people said that about Tom Brady. He got the flags too. It's just
listen, I
it's
get it.
progression of the torch.
Yeah,
It went
it's listen.
from Tom and now it's Patty. And eventually there's gonna be the next coming that gets the calls too.
Already, but you know what? They were annoying enough, and then Travis Kelce decided to go hit up T Swizzle, and now it's
Hey,
fun.
listen, shout out to him. Shot his shot and do you, King.
It's a psyop.
Stop that. Stop that. And just believe in true love.
You believe in true love? Yeah, sure thing. I do believe in true love when it's actually real, not whatever is on my fucking television screen. So, all righty. So, the other big important thing going on today was the NBA trade deadline because we are All-Star weekend is upon us. The local teams made trades. There was a bunch of trades around the league that broke down. Pat Beverly went to the Bucks. Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks went to the Knicks. The Nets swapped Spencer Dinwiddie with Dennis Schroeder, and they traded Royce O'Neal to the Suns for 3 second-round picks. The Bulls didn't make a move. The Lakers didn't make a move. Um,
Dallas Mavericks made some moves.
Dallas Mavericks got PJ Washington.
Correct.
They got PJ Washington. Um, I mean, that's really the only ones of note. I mean, there was a bunch of other like random players going for nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's a big deal for the Knicks. The Knicks are real contenders in the East this year. Really what it feels like for the first time since the 90s. Um, I mean, when they had Melo, you know, they were playoff teams, but you never felt like they were true title contenders when they had Melo, just because of the way he plays. They couldn't really
Yeah.
get a good team going.
They're
Um,
just up in the mix. It never felt like
it
that.
never felt,
This is a team that's really gonna contend. But I mean, a team with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, that's adding to that. I think is huge. That shows that they're committed to winning too.
yeah. I mean, the culture change that's happened there under Leon Rose and acquiring Jalen Brunson via free agency has just been the best thing that they could do. And these trades were necessary because they're really hurt right now. I mean, OG Anunoby just had elbow surgery. He's going to be out at least a month. And then you have to hope that there's no setbacks there. They're just really hurt right now, and they're trying to hold on to a top three seed in the East. So these trades really made good sense for them, keeps them competitive, and it keeps them, you know, keeps them competitive. In terms of the team over in Brooklyn, who are no longer really good anymore after their nice little KD Kyrie era. It's been a nice fall back down to fucking planet Earth
Down
and
to earth.
down to Earth. Um, got some assets back. Got rid of Dinwiddie's expiring contract. Brought on Schroeder, who's probably a better ball handler and passer. Dinwiddie's a better shooter, but Dinwiddie's been fucking playing like shit lately.
Dinwiddie, nobody can buy him right now. I think he got traded and he's being bought out.
Yeah, they
So,
bought him out. So
so
then the Nets essentially got Schroeder for free. So I mean, I'll take it. The Nets are still trying to play for the playoffs. They think they have enough talent. They honestly do have enough talent to be like a 6 seed or a 7 seed. I mean,
not
there's
gonna go anywhere though.
they're
That's
not going to go anywhere. You know, they're kind of stuck in that purgatory spot where, you know, the Nets have always made the playoffs since they moved to Brooklyn, but they never fucking go anywhere. You know, it's really, really annoying.
it's a consolation of
Yeah.
congratulations. You made the playoffs. See you next year.
Yeah. I mean, Ben Simmons is finally healthy. He's finally playing some pretty decent ball. Um, Mikal Bridges is a really, really good player. I really hope they continue to build around him. Um, Cam Johnson's a really good young player. The most 40-point games by a net this year. He's only 22 years old. He just has to develop other parts of his game. But you know, the Nets are not ready yet. You know, obviously they had a championship title window for those few years and it closed. They failed, unfortunately. Injuries, COVID, and just Kyrie Irving nonsense just derailed the whole fucking thing. And
Hey, I'm loving Kyrie on the Mavericks, so
I'm sure you are because he knows he needs to get fucking paid. That's why he's playing really well right now. He was getting paid handsomely on the Nets, so that's why he wasn't fucking playing. So don't worry, dude. He's gonna rear his ugly head. Just give it time. Don't worry. But that's kind of going what's going on in the land of the orange Spalding ball. Um, Mavs are looking good. They're contenders in the West. Clippers. Doc Rivers is 1-4 as the Bucks head coach right now. I think that hire is a disaster, and it's going to prove to be a disaster in the playoffs. Um, I'm not a fan.
real crazy switch up. I mean, I don't I don't really follow the Bucks too much, but I just felt like all of a sudden inserting
It
Doc
makes
Rivers
no
there.
sense. It makes no sense. So the story behind that is they didn't like the players. Adrian Griffin lost the locker room, the previous coach.
Okay.
He lost the locker room. The Bucks management noticed it when they were started watching the practices. So they said, we got to let this guy go. It's not, this isn't working. But I mean, what I understand Doc Rivers is going to be a Hall of Famer, but besides,
Coaching.
yeah, but besides that one title with the Celtics, he hasn't had a good coaching career. He does have a high career winning percentage, but he always chokes in the playoffs like fucking like clockwork. Maybe he's just on a team now where there's so much talent it just does not matter. With Dame and the Greek Freak and Chris Middleton, like them and the Celtics are just a total complete team too. Like those are the top two teams in the East right now. The Knicks are trying to compete with them. The Knicks don't have the talent that's to match both those teams. I think they're good enough to give them a series, but I don't think they're good enough yet to beat them in a 7-game series.
No, because you're talking mega talent with
Yeah.
names.
Listen, I love Jalen Brunson, and he's really emerged really well. I mean, if they're playing the Bucks, he's the third best player on the floor. If they're playing the Celtics, he might be the second or third best player on the floor, depending on how. I mean, I'm not a big Jaylen Brown guy, so I probably would give Jalen Brunson the edge over Jaylen Brown, but he's not better than Jason Tatum. It's just really hard. I think the Knicks are one more real solid piece away from being, true title contenders. I consider them contenders in the East. I don't really consider them true NBA title contenders. But this is still the best Knicks team, since Ewing in the 90s. You got to give credit where credit's due. They might fuck around and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, depending on the seeding, you know. But I mean, they're going to run into the Bucks or the Celtics eventually. So we'll see
Yeah,
what happens.
all all championships run through either Boston or Milwaukee in the East. So
Yeah. And I hate both those fucking teams. So I'll be the biggest Knicks fan ever. Especially since Giannis is the one who intentionally hurt Kyrie and derailed the Nets title chances. So, but that's a conversation for another day. Um, the Giants finally hired a defensive coordinator, Bowen, from the Bowen's his last name from the Titans.
yep.
Um, what was his first name? Um, fuck, I should have had this ready.
Shane Bowen.
Shane Bowen. Yeah, he's been the Titans defensive coordinator since 2021. I mean, the Titans have always fielded a pretty solid defense. So I guess the hire's okay. They missed out on their top two options, which was Denard Wilson and some other guy, but I don't know. For all I know, this hire sucks balls, and the Giants are just going to be awful. And what the fuck else is new? So their coaching staff is now complete. They did promote Mike Kafka to assistant head coach, which was a little interesting.
Saw
Um,
that.
because I mean he was taking head coaching interviews and then the Giants blocked them, and then they promoted him. So
Mhm.
it's pretty clear that like he's Dayball's guy, and I mean the league thinks pretty highly of him. I mean he was the head coach of the Senior Bowl. So maybe he is pretty decent. And the Giants O line was just too much of a disaster. There was no fixing anything. But again, you don't fucking know. So until that ball is put on the fucking 25-yard line in September, you're not gonna fucking know shit. And with that being said, I know the Raiders had a couple of coordinator news
Oh my.
happening.
The most Raider thing could happen. The Raiders raided basically, and we're looking for the offensive coordinator. We got Antonio Pierce set as head coach. So it's everything's looking roses. We hire Tom Telesco as our general manager. We steal him away from the Chargers, who put together some pretty solid pieces, one of them being Justin Herbert, so he knows how to scout talent. And then to put together an offensive coordinator, we hit the home run. At least I thought we hit the home run. And I'm blanking on his name right now, from former Arizona Cardinals head coach.
Oh, Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury was the offensive guru that we took from USC, and the creator of the air raid offense, just bombing it out. And I was like, this is fucking perfect match. We're going to go get our quarterback. We're going to pair him up with Devontae, and it's going to be bombs away. Only to find out days later, after it was announced that he was going to be the head coach, that he backed out. And he backed out because he wanted a 3-year deal, and the Raiders were only willing to give him a 2-year deal. So Magic Johnson, who is part ownership of the Washington Commanders, gave him a call and said, Cliff, come over to DC.
We'll give you that 3-year deal.
We'll give you that 3-year deal. So Kingsbury's gone. So what do we do?
And they booted out Bieniemy.
Yeah, and Bieniemy now is giving pep talks to the Chiefs right now. Back to his old peeps.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So that one domino falls, and now Antonio Pierce is like, when I was the linebacker coach before they gave me the interim head coach job, we got destroyed by the Bears. You know what? Luke Getsy. That's who I want as my offensive coordinator. The guy that couldn't make it work with Justin Fields. Let's call him up. But
that's rough.
Rough. Cliff Kingsbury, high profile name, to Luke Getsy. My only glimmer of hope is that Getsy was the quarterbacks coach for the Packers when Devontae was there. And this was the year that his second year, and Devontae blew up under him. I mean, granted, Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much to look into that, but Devontae gave him the old thumbs up and said, hey, I'm good with this. So we'll see. A lot of rumblings in Las Vegas about potential quarterback. Antonio Pierce already said that AOC is the quarterback for now, but they're bringing in another quarterback, and the person that I've heard a lot of talk about, a lot of chatter, is Jaden Daniels from LSU. So former Arizona product with when Antonio Pierce was on that team before he transferred over to LSU. So
you're gonna have to trade up to 3.
Fine by me. Listen, it'll be less to trade up to 3 than it would be to 1 to get Caleb Williams. And the asking price to jump from 13 to 1 was like 3 1s, 3 2s, and some sprinkles in between, which I feel like
you get fired for that.
If you make that trade, you've got to hope and pray that Caleb Williams is
the next Messiah.
Peak Caleb Williams at US.
I don't even think I don't think he should be. I know he is locked in, but he shouldn't be locked in. Drake May is a freak. Drake May is a freak athlete, and no one is realizing this because he's a goofy fucking white guy. But if you watch his film, Dan Orlovsky said this. I think it was yesterday on the Pat McAfee show. He's like, this guy's a freak. You guys need to have more eyes on him. And speaking of freaks, there's another quarterback in this draft class who will be taken in the top 10 after the combine, just like Anthony Richardson did last year, where the combine shot him up a whole bunch because he was just a total physical freak. That
Okay.
that quarterback is going to be Michael Penix Jr. I'm telling you, that kid's going to go in the top 10. I've read so much out of the Senior Bowl with him. He is a physical freak. He has a 6'9" wingspan at 6'3". He had the biggest hands of any player there outside of the offensive lineman. He was able to, apparently, he can throw all these different arm angles because his arms are so long that he could just escape whatever pass rush is coming at him. Now, do I think this guy needs to be in the right system? Yeah, I think he needs to be in the right system. But when he shows up to this combine and they start measuring this guy and he starts running and he starts throwing off, showing that fucking deep bomb, I'm telling you, dude, that guy's gonna be legit.
I don't know because
I don't know either, but I'm
none,
getting a lot of chatter.
none of us know, but because I was reading that, and this is going to sound crazy, that a lot of top people in the NFL are higher on JJ McCarthy than they are Michael Penix Jr.
Which is asinine to me, which is
I
crazy.
don't. I mean, I know shit about fuck, but
Yeah, I'm a dumbass. Listen, I'm a total stupid dumbass, and I'm just saying stuff. But it really is just a crapshoot. Like it is a total crapshoot. Look, Brock Purdy, who was the last pick in the draft, is
he's in
starting.
the Super Bowl right now.
We don't know anything about quarterbacks, so it doesn't matter. But as a Giants fan, knowing that this guy might get taken, because I think he's going to be a top 10 talent, but I think he's going to be taken later due to him being a lefty and due to him, maybe being a system guy. I think he still goes in like the teens, even though I think he should be a top 10 pick.
I think the lefty thing hurts him a little
The,
bit.
the lefty thing is going to hurt him. That's why I think he's going to be like 15, 16 in that range. He's going to go in the first round. But like as a Giants fan, the dream scenario now, because you're at 6, it makes no sense. You're not trading up to get a quarterback from those quarterback needy teams. There's all this talk from all these insiders that are in the Giants building. The players and the coaches all want Daniel Jones to be the starter week 1. They all believe in him still, but the Giants are still going to add a quarterback because they don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be healthy or ready. So they need to go get one. If I'm the Giants, you take the best player available at 6, which is hopefully the wide receiver at LSU to be the number 1 wide receiver, who we haven't fucking had since the last wide receiver we took in the first round at LSU, Odell Beckham Jr. And then use that extra
full circle right there.
Full circle. See what I'm doing here? See what I'm doing? And then use that extra second round pick that you got from the Seattle Seahawks in the Leonard Williams trade, which ended up being fucking awful for Seattle, by the way. Jump back into the first round in the teens, take Penix Jr., sit him behind Daniel Jones because he's gonna need a little bit of time to learn an NFL offense, and just let it play out. And let's just see what happens. Or take a freak fucking tackle at number 6, Joe Alt out of Notre Dame, slide Evan Neal over to right guard because the fucker can't play tackle, which is like fucking bizarro world Twilight Zone where a Nick Saban Alabama All-American tackle can't play tackle in the NFL. It makes no motherfucking sense, but here we are because of course. So I'd be okay with that too. I think what the Giants are going to do, they're not going to trade up from 6. They're going to stay at 6, and I think they take the best player available, whether it be a wide receiver or an offensive lineman. And I think they use their extra picks to trade back up into the first to take the quarterback that they want. Joe Shane has traded up in every single draft that he's been a part of, dating back to when he was hired in 2022. So,
yeah,
there's my TED Talk.
Hey, I'm for it. I wish the Giants nothing but the best.
Football is better when the Giants are good. When the New York teams are good, football is better. When the Raiders are good, Football is better. These teams need to be good. I don't give a shit about the Kansas City Chiefs anymore. I don't care about the San Francisco 49ers anymore. I hate that communist state. We need these teams that are like we need the iconic franchises back, man. We need the fucking Raiders to be ridiculous. We need the G-Men, the fucking the Giants, one of the 4 original NFL teams over 99 years of existence. The fucking New York Football Giants. They're so old that they had to call them the New York Football Giants to make sure they didn't confuse them from the New York Giants baseball team before they moved to San Francisco. Okay. The Giants need to be good. I'm tired of this. End rant.
I'm with you. I'm with it. I'm with it. Bring that energy right now. And that's why
I just brought it. I just brought it to you.
The Luke Getsy thing kind of put a damper on me because I had in my head, you know what? The Raiders, they're going to trade a 2nd or 3rd round pick and they're going to get Justin Fields. They're going to get Justin Fields and they're going to
go for a second.
They're going to ride him out and let's go and draft some.
Dude,
but
listen.
In couldn't work with them in Chicago unless it was the head coach. But Getsy's calling plays.
He'd be familiar with the playbook.
I just that makes me nervous. That makes me nervous to really trade the 2nd round pick for Fields.
Dude, I would love Fields right now. The Giants have an extra 2nd round pick. They could trade that to the Bears and just take Justin Fields.
Fields is making $20 million.
What?
Fields would cost $20 million.
I don't give a fucking rat's ass.
I mean, you're already paying what is
Jones' cap hit this year is $40 million.
Oh, $60 million on 2 quarterbacks. I don't see that happening.
Listen, you could always restructure. The Giants already plan on restructuring Thomas and Lawrence's contract to free up $31 million in cap space. So,
all right, $60 million for 2 quarterbacks. Fuck it.
Listen, if they win games, I don't give a fuck what they're spending. Isn't that the whole goal?
That would make me so happy if the Giants traded for Justin Fields, because I would love to see the guy that's in Honduras right now diving underwater
just explode.
Oh my God, his nipples pierce him immediately.
Dude,
boom.
Dude, Justin Fields with Brian Daboll in his ear, that's fascinating to me, man. Because like we know Daboll, listen, for all Daboll's faults that we saw this year and him being this hothead, that guy knows quarterbacks. He had Tommy DeVito win us 3 games in a row. Like he had Tommy DeVito beat the Green Bay Packers.
He had the chicken cutlet.
And that Green Bay Packers team almost beat the Niners in the playoffs. So Daboll knows how to coach quarterbacks. So it just would be a little fascinating to me how he would do with Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is an X factor. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, if you weren't already paying $40 million for Danny Jones, $20 million for a potential star quarterback is dirt cheap.
Yeah, it'd be the 5th-year option. Obviously they got to pay it. Right? They have to pick up the 5th-year option if they want to trade him. Or is this year 4?
Yeah. No, this will be 5th year.
This is his 5th year, right? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, fuck it. What do I care? They could cut Jones next year without any financial. It doesn't matter. That's why they structured the contract the way they did. They're not tied to him long term. So
just on paper.
Yeah. I mean, the other, Saquon's probably gone. Whatever. See you later. I wanted them to franchise tag him again. It just makes sense to just franchise tag him, especially if you're bringing in another quarterback, especially a rookie. It's easier for a rookie to just hand the ball off for a couple plays.
But I mean, What
I
do-
get
what
it.
what have we learned? Running backs are honestly they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah. There's only
And
one that matters, and
found out
that's
that cold hard truth when Josh Jacobs went down because Zamir White stepped in and looked like a boss. However, I think with Antonio Pierce coming back, Josh Jacobs said that he was more inclined to take a hometown discount because,
well, that and he knows he's not going to have a market.
yeah. So, but I mean,
Saquon's probably going to go to the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh wants Saquon bad, apparently.
I
So,
heard that. Oof.
so they could
Oh,
pay him. They
keep
could
him
pay
out of
him.
the West. No.
They're gonna give him a big fat contract, and he'll be hurt week 4. It's just the way it is, man. I
Yeah.
listen. I want him to stay. He's been the face of the Giants. He once again he said that he wants to stay. He wants to retire a Giant, and I hope that happens. The smart thing again right now for them is to just franchise tag him again and just keep him in that offense.
What would that cap hit be on a second franchise tag?
It's 12.5 million.
I mean, that's nothing.
Like, why not? Like, it's to me, it's a no-brainer. Like, I get it. I'm a little biased. I'm a little homerish, but if you could have Saquon for 1 year for 12.5 million, like, why wouldn't you do that?
There's no risk to that.
There's no risk. You're just franchise tagging him, which I still think they may do. Like, we don't know what's going to happen between now and free agency. Yeah, everyone's saying we're expecting him to hit the open market. Why would the Giants just let him go? Unless there was an understanding behind the scenes. They're like, thank you for everything you've done for the team. We're going to let you go someplace where you can win. Like, that's the only thing that I could think of. But if you're trying to build a team, and Saquon went on Stephen A. Smith's show or whatever, he was like, we were a year removed from being in the divisional. He's like, we're right there. Obviously that's what he's supposed to say, but it doesn't sound like a guy that wants to leave. He's a free agent. He could say
Yeah.
whatever the hell he wants. So I want him to be back selfishly. I think he just helps the team, especially since it'd be on a low risk deal. It's a franchise tag. Who fucking cares? Just franchise tag him. He's going to sign the tag because he signed the last one. He's not going to sit out. So just do it. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of Giants fans don't share that opinion. They're kind of ready to move on from him, and I get why you're ready to move on from him. But from a team building perspective, just for this season, it makes no sense to just let him walk. That's just my opinion.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It makes no sense. He had a good year last year, Saquon. Like, he had a pretty good year last year. He had 1,400 all-purpose yards.
I just don't know. We all say obviously he's not going to be happy about being franchised again, but
I don't fucking care.
at the end of the day, as a running back, you know that you have no leverage.
No, you don't.
That you're gonna sign that tag at the end of the day, regardless.
Yeah. And the Giant, and when they came to an agreement, the Giants upped the pay a little bit. They gave him an extra $500,000, and they're like, "Will you take it?" And he's like, "Sure." So I don't know. I hope he does.
There's a lot to be had between now and even just
There's so much. We have a whole month. Like, the new league
wait
year.
till free agency starts.
It
It's
starts
gonna be
17th, right?
it's right after Super Bowl, so
It's technically right after the Super Bowl, but the new league year is the 17th, right?
correct.
That's when transactions can be finalized.
And it's gonna be wild. Look at how many wide receivers. Like, there's so many top wide receivers that are gonna be available to be had. Running backs are gonna be all over the place. Like, it really is gonna be like the Wild West.
Yeah. It's just going to be an arms race for So if you know there's going to be this arms race for these skill position players, and you know you have one, and you could just throw the tag on them again, why wouldn't you just throw the tag on them again? It
Unless,
just
is there anybody else that on the Giants right now
there's
that
fucking nobody.
that's tag? That's what I'm saying. Would it make sense to use a tag on somebody else other than Saquon?
No, the Giants don't have a lot of pending free agents this year. Saquon would be the only one that's important. I mean, Xavier McKinney is the only other one of note, but you're not going to franchise tag a safety. That's not going to happen. They're probably just going to re-sign him. I think the Giants re-sign him outright. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
we got a lot to
We got a lot to go. There's
to
a
be
long time here to go.
I mean, my domino that's gonna fall is I'm curious to see what happens with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, because they can't afford both him and Jefferson. So
Jefferson's talking that he want back the Brinks truck
yeah,
up,
he's like, nope, break the bank.
go get the keys to the other Brinks truck, and then give me the combination to Fort Knox because I want it all. That's what Justin Jefferson said, basically.
And he deserves it. He's the best wide receiver in football. And when he's healthy,
There ain't nobody better.
there's just no one better. It's just, and he's in his prime.
Yeah.
You just do it. He's 24. You just do it without hesitation.
So, I mean, what is he? He's going to be on his 4th year, or is this going to be his 5th year?
I think this is his 4th.
So,
because they have to pay him. So that's why they're talking contracts. So this is his 4th year.
So Dog going to get paid, but he really wants Kirk Cousins back. And I don't know.
Kirk Cousins is going to Atlanta.
Think so?
They're going to pay him.
Good for Kirk.
How about that?
I know. Listen, I wouldn't mind seeing Kirk Cousins in silver and black. How about that?
I would listen. Kirk Cousins throwing to Devontae Adams.
Ooh.
Kirk Cousins was on pace to throw like 5,300 yards last year. I mean, he was lighting up the scoreboard before he got hurt. I mean, he's very much still, he's got some football left in the tank.
He's still got to, even coming off an Achilles, he's 35. Listen, a 35-year-old quarterback going to the Raiders sounds a lot like Rich Gannon. This is a little bit before your time, but this is when the Raiders were in Super Bowl prime. They brought in an old dog that said, "Oh, he's washed," and then he took them to a fucking Super Bowl. So, come here, Kirk.
That's a good fit. I think that's a good fit. I can see him going to the Raiders. I can see him going to the Falcons. His family is open about staying in Minnesota. So
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, he's got that spot in his basement right now, waiting for waiting for
I could see them doing the franchise. Well, no, they can't tag him. It's part of his deal. He's not franchise taggable. I can see them doing a short-term deal, just doing it for a year, and then telling Justin Jefferson, "Hey, we're going to pay you, and we're going to backload it so that we could have Kirk Cousins here," and he's going to be like, "Okay, cool." So I still expect Kirk Cousins to stay in Minnesota, but the Vikings are very aggressive. They're trying to be very aggressive and trade up for a quarterback themselves. Fuck, they're at 11. Stay at 11. Take Penix Jr. That's pretty much where he's supposed to see where he's going to go anyway, probably. Might as well just sit him behind Kirk.
Heating up. T. Higgins, free agent. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's going to get, someone's going to overpay for him.
This is where he goes. Ready for it? Jacksonville. He goes and reunites with Trevor Lawrence.
Probably. He probably goes to Jacksonville because Trevor Lawrence was just exposed this year. So then now they need as many weapons as humanly possible for him.
And Calvin Ridley, I don't. Maybe he was betting against himself because
I don't know, but he's got to do something because you are the fact that CBS did that homework and fucking put his stats up next to Danny Jones's stats and they were fucking nearly identical.
Oof.
A little frightening for Mr. Trevor Lawrence. Okay.
Yeah, not
So
a good look. Not a
it's
good look.
not a good look, as the kids say these days. It's not a good look. So I do see them overpaying for a T. Higgins. I think Mike Evans goes to a team like the Chiefs.
I think we've been saying that, and he's going to get paid too.
He's going to get overpaid too. Like eventually he's got to fall off the cliff, right?
You would think, but I mean, I don't know. They said his asking price is going to be between 20 and $30 million a year. That's astronomical for a wide receiver.
He's 31.
30s.
Yeah, he's 31. No fucking thank you.
Now, I'll tell you, Michael Pittman Jr., pay that man.
I'll take Michael Pittman Jr. That dude is so good. That dude is so good. He's been so underrated. No one ever talks about him because there hasn't been a quarterback there to fucking throw him the ball.
Listen, the Colts ain't they'd be foolish.
I think they tag him.
The perfect marriage for who was a rookie quarterback, who's really going to be still kind of a rookie quarterback in Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. No, I think they tag him. I don't think he's going anywhere. So yeah. Let's wrap it up with the football talk and let's move on to some Yankees update stuff, and then we'll kind of wrap it up for tonight. So let's talk a bit about the Yankees here first. Trade details.
Let's talk about the Yankees.
Some details came out today. Not the Orioles, the Milwaukee Brewers were asking for Spencer Jones, and a trade for Corbin Burns. The Yankees said no. And then the Orioles swooped in and was willing to give them the prospects that they wanted. And now they have Corbin Burns. I had a conversation with John, the pooch man.
Puccio.
And Jason. They both said that trading Spencer Jones is not worth it for a 1-year rental of Corbin Burns. And it went into the classic, well, are we trying to win or what are we doing here? Like, are we just going to mismanage this guy like every other prospect that we've had? Is this guy going to fucking play? I'm like, didn't we just draft this guy? Isn't he in AA right now? We're not going to see him until like 2026. Like, and then John's like, well, no, they're going to call
special talent.
What?
I don't know. They're saying that he's a special talent, Judge-esque.
Yeah, they said the same thing about Clint Frazier. Like, they said the same thing about Gary Sanchez. I don't fucking buy stock into it.
All right. One, we do not mention Clint Frazier ever again. He is a piece of shit. But Gary Sanchez, be nice to Gary. Gary had some good years for us.
Okay, great. He never lived up to the hype. That's my point. And we have outfielders. We don't need any more outfielders. We're under the pretense that we're going to sign Soto to an extension, correct?
I mean, I would love to, but are we?
Just like answer the question. Like Yankee fans think he's staying, right? Yeah. All right, so there's our right fielder,
Dominguez, and
okay. So where's the room for Spencer Jones exactly?
Maybe we move Judge to first base. Take some wear and tear off of him.
Is he our new first baseman when fucking Rizzo leaves?
Maybe. I don't know. He's a lefty. He could play fucking. Whatever. Throw Spencer Jones at first base. Give him a first baseman hit.
And why wouldn't we pay Corbin Burns? Like, why wouldn't we pay him?
All right. I was all for sending fucking almost everybody to
like that's my thing. Like, why couldn't you just do that? I'm sure Spencer Jones might turn out to be a really good player. Or maybe he turns out to be fucking Greg Bird. We don't fucking know.
Another name that I never want to hear on this podcast
But
ever
that's
again.
Pete. That's my point. You know what Corbin Burns is?
Fuck them picks.
Corbin Burns is a guarantee. Isn't that wasn't this the theme of the Yankee offseason all year? We need guarantees, no more what ifs.
Maybe they're still holding out hope that fucking Blake Snell is going to be in pinstripes.
Then all is forgiven. Listen, the Yankees are still the only team to offer him a contract.
He must be a real asshole.
He has to be a dickhead. He has to be the worst human being ever. He has won an AL and an NL Cy Young, one of 4 pitchers ever to do that, has been to the World Series. Like, this guy must, like, kick puppies or something.
Oh, yeah. He definitely kicks puppies and burns his grandmother with cigarettes.
You know what? That's what the Yankees need. We need a dickhead. Like, we need someone that's going to fucking put his cigarette out on some fucking little girl's arm in the first row. Like, can I have your autograph, Blake Snow? Yeah, sure. The fuck out of my face, kid.
I mean, I'm holding out hope that Cashman's got one more in the chamber and just unloads it on Snell.
Because, I mean, that trade for Caleb Ferguson was sneaky good. That guy has ridiculous numbers.
Got our lefty arm.
Got our lefty bullpen arm. That was a sneaky good trade by Cashman. I'll give him credit for that. The bullpen's ready to go. I mean, we still need a closer, but it looks like they're throwing Clay Holmes out as the closer again, which I don't like, but whatever. The weakest part of this team is the starting rotation. Besides Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, that's a big if. We don't know what he was last year. Marcus Stroman, he's still an if, even though he was an all-star last year. We don't know how he's going to play with the Yankees. We just don't.
We don't.
Cortez was out for most of last year. That's a big what if. If he's going to return to form, or if he could learn how to pitch with the pitch clock. That's a big what if. Is Clark Schmidt going to repeat what he did last year as the 5th starter? That's a big what if. Like, there are way too many what ifs with this starting rotation.
Everywhere. It's like the Riddler.
There's question marks everywhere. Corbin Burns would have solved that.
He would have.
Blake Snell would solve that. We need another guarantee in the starting lineup because we are 1 injury away, which the Yankees are very, very popular with. 1 injury in that starting rotation, and you are fucked.
This is a name that I've been seeing pop up, and they're begging, and very controversial, but what about on a low risk, high incentive Trevor Bauer? I'm down. I know he had his issues,
which he was exonerated for, by the way.
He was, but I mean,
He's also an asshole.
Yeah, big asshole. Him and Cole don't get along, so I don't know how that would go. But I mean,
the New York
media, $1 million, throw $1 million at the guy and say, hey, you win 15 games, we'll bump it up to $5 million.
Too much of a distraction. They can't do it. They can't do it. It's the New York market. If he was back in Cincinnati, it wouldn't matter. But it's so fucked up. They found him. He was exonerated on everything, and now the MLB still won't touch him. Like, it's
blackballed. It's over.
Blackballed over bullshit. It's just insane. But yeah, that was just my pickle. Like, isn't we were told this was the all-in year. So yes, I'm going to bitch.
Oh, we were fooled to believe.
Yeah, fooled to believe it was the all-in year. You know, because we
got the Soto, and we were like, wow, this is the change.
Yeah.
And then so
I mean, they shelled out $300 million for fucking Yamamoto. Like, you were willing to do that for someone who had never thrown a pitch in Major League Baseball, but you're not willing to just cut that in half for Blake Snell? Or
well, I mean, no, they were offering more for Snell than offered Rodon. So,
or give that money you were about to give the Yamamoto to Corbin fucking Burns. Like, it's just Do I just think differently? Like, do I just think differently as a Yankee fan, or is like all these other Yankee fans just fucking brainwashed into thinking you can't have everybody? Because you can have everybody until the CBA says you can't.
Well, look at the Dodgers.
Exactly. So why can't you have it?
Kick the can down the road.
It's just it bothers me. It bothers me to my core that everyone's just okay with, and well, Spencer Jones might be really good in the year. Like, fucking, I don't know that. I do know that Corbin Burns will win 20 games and fucking have 200 strikeouts. Like,
he will. But I mean,
dude, he's gonna shit on us this year. The Orioles are gonna win are the Yankees even the best team in the division right now? Like, are we really that confident? Our pitching rotation is assholeitis. Like we said in the beginning, does Soto put us over the top? And we all said no. Like, the Orioles are a 100-win team that just added one of the best pitchers in baseball. Damn it.
Orioles are really good with Corbin Burns.
I get like, what are we doing?
I'm holding out hope.
But I'm the crazy one. Why can't you ever be happy with the Yankees, Zach? You want to know when I'll be happy? When there's a fucking ring on their finger. And you know what it takes to win in baseball? Fuck the prospects. You have to pay to win in baseball. What did the Texas Rangers just do?
Jordan Montgomery is still a free agent too.
Not coming back. Stop it. He's going back to Texas.
I don't like that.
I don't either. I've had it.
I think
had enough.
I think Cashman's gonna wake up. He's gonna be like, oh shit.
Did you see that they did call up Snell and they talked a little bit after the Corbin Burns move? I'm like, of course they were going to do that, because their target that they've been trying to get for a while, who they were going to wait till the trade deadline to get, which is the fucking stupidest thing, which is in of itself the fucking stupidest thing ever. Just let your rival, who just won the division last year, come in and take them. Like, that is not good. As Aaron Boone said, yeah, that could be a problem.
Oh my God. At least, all right. Credit to Aaron Boone. At least he acknowledged it.
Because he's not a fucking moron.
And didn't try to justify it like our friend.
Yeah, well, we really like Spencer Jones. He's doing really good for us as in the Somerset Patriots. Fucking blow it out your ass.
Yeah, Somerset Patriots are going to be dogs this year.
I want to vomit. I just always want to vomit. I always want to vomit. Why can't you ever be happy about the Yankees? You always complain about the Yankees. Why don't you let them see what they want to do? Because baseball is guarantees and no guarantees. That's just what that sport is. Put the superstars on your team and you fucking win baseball games. It is that simple. The Texas Rangers went out and spent a gajillion fucking dollars last year on Corey Seager and Marcus Semien and traded the house for all these pitchers and paid all these pitchers, and they fucking blew everybody out in the playoffs. They scored 8-9 runs every game. Like, are we watching the same sport? I don't care about the prospects. We don't know what Spencer Jones is. We know what Corbin Burns is. Well, it would have just been for 1 year. How do you know? Why don't you pay the guy? What is he, 29 years old? Like, it's close-minded thinking. It's close-minded thinking. Like, I love John and Jason and all my other Yankee fans that I know, but like, you guys are brainwashed. Like, this is close-minded. You could pay Corbin Burns. We just offered Yamamoto $300 million. Corbin Burns would have cost $200 million to keep. Why don't you fucking do that? And if it imagine if you could have traded Spencer Jones for Corbin Burns and you signed him to a fucking 10-year, $200 million extension, you would fucking shit your pants all over the workplace. Like, we need to open our minds here. These people are brainwashed into thinking you can't do everything. Like, until baseball says unless the fucking, they go super Steve Cohen tax rule in the new CBA in 7 years where they implement a salary cap, this is the window to fucking do it.
We need to have Cashman on this podcast.
This is like what I want to say when I see stupid shit on my fucking Snapchat group chat. And it's like, yeah.
Listen,
don't want to do Spencer Jones for Corbin Burns. It's only a 1-year rental. Why? Why does that have to be a rental? Because why? Is Soto a 1-year rental? We just fucking traded 5 prospects for Juan Soto. That's a 1-year rental, but we couldn't trade one. We couldn't trade one more. Dude, imagine if we had fucking Garrett Cole and then Burns.
Listen, I called for it all off season.
Yeah, give me a fucking break. You know what?
You're right.
Yeah, fuck the prospects. Judge is 31. Cole is 31. We need to win right now. I don't give a fuck what Spencer Jones is.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's trade him.
Maybe I'm just because Dan raised me on the classic Yankees, the George Steinbrenner Yankees. You win at all costs. And this team has
winning is valued above everything.
We haven't won in 15 years. 15 years. And I swear to Christ, if we don't win this year because we didn't have a number 2 pitcher, because we didn't feel like trading Spencer Jones, I'm going to fucking freak out. I hope I made my point to everyone listening and watching. I'm sure the YouTube is going to be fucking phenomenal for this one.
Oh, fire.
Oh, dude, there's probably steam coming out of here and here.
I smell it in here. It's fucking burning right now.
This is so frustrating. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. I don't know. There's 2 kinds of Yankee fans. There's me, and then there's the layman Yankee fan. It's like, oh, well, you got to build the team from within. We just fucking tried to do that and it didn't work.
I can't wait to this year at some point. We're going to be standing on the Toyota Terrace. We're just going to be overlooking. And
I'm going to be watching fucking Nestor Cortez get fucking shelled by fucking the 3rd inning because he can't pitch with the fucking pitch clock. And I'm just going to want to go home.
All right. Well, first of all, I would never pick a game where Nestor's going to pitch.
Thank God. I haven't been to the stadium in 3 years because this team has been awful and they've been pissing me off. Pete is getting me to go back.
Is to level up our chances of enjoying the day.
But you know what?
I don't think we're done. I think there's, like I said, I think Cashman knows well enough where they got one more move. It's not over yet.
Well, I fucking hope so. I hope it ain't over yet. I'm still waiting for that notification of Blake Snell agrees to the Yankees for a 3-year, $120 million deal. And then let's go. Then I don't care. Then everything's forgiven because you got to have Dan's popping in. Hold on a minute.
Oh, we have a guest.
Hold on. His mic's muted.
Dan, unmute yourself. Put your video up.
I know he's on break apparently.
The
Hey,
Danimal!
what's
Oh,
up, dudes?
oh, dude, he just got
Welcome.
you came in at the end of one of my probably one of the
This
better,
was a primal rant above rants
yeah,
of
by
the New York Yankees.
Fair,
it was
fair. I'm very disappointed.
it was pretty primal, like by
Uh,
me, because there are other Yankee fans that just think it's totally okay to just hold on to these prospects. Once again, it's just like I just went on a whole tangent about how Corbin Burns going to the Orioles is a fucking huge ass problem, and they wanted Spencer Jones. Fuck it. This guy's in AA. Fucking give him Spencer Jones. I don't give a shit how special they think he is. For all we know, he could
Right,
be fucking Greg Bird. Like,
right,
we don't
right.
know.
Yeah, I don't want to hold on to prospects if it means not getting proven major league talent. I mean, we have to stop this now. I mean, yes, every farm system is going to have guys that the execs and the higher ups covet. Okay, I get that, but not every single one of them. Like we need to stop. Like it's like this is like Baby Bombers 3.0. I feel like that we're in Baby Bombers chapter 3 now. Like this is going to be the third wave of prospects now that comes up, since the Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge and all that. Okay, well, we only got one guy out of all of that so far. So, and maybe two. All right, if you count our shortstop yet. I'm not willing to say that yet, Volpe. But yeah, no, we need to get away from this. When you make a move to trade for a Juan Soto, okay, what you're saying to your fans and to the league is that okay, we're serious about being competitive. But you still have holes in your pitching. So you're not willing to go that extra prospect or two to get a starter like Burns. Like it doesn't make any sense, man.
was
It
right there.
feels like
Was there.
it feels like we got led down the road of, oh, okay, let's make this one move real early, right during winter meetings, after winter meetings, that's going to satisfy Yankee fans, and then we're just going to stop.
Dan, that's
And
what I said before you got on. I said we were tricked into believing that we were making the moves
right,
to, and we got fooled.
yeah. So now
And
that's it, man.
my
That's
point was, you'll probably hear it back when you listen to it tomorrow or whatever. But my point was because me, John, and Jason talked about it today, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not willing to go have Spencer Jones for 1 year of Corbin Burns." I'm like, "Why does that have to be 1 year? Why don't you pay him?"
what.
You just
Hold on a
offer,
second. Hold on a second. That's a terrible argument. How long do we have Juan Soto under contract for?
yeah, this year he's a 1 year rental, but we
Right.
think he's coming back, right? We all think he's going to get re-signed.
Well, I really want to know what the thought processes are, because if we're saying that, oh, I don't want Corbin Burns for a year, well, then why do you want Juan Soto for a year?
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. I really think that's like this, like they are new age Yankee fans that just have this weird fucking way of thinking that like it's only this, like it's tunnel vision. Like we just offered Yamamoto $300 million. Why couldn't you trade for Corbin Burns, give him $200 million to stay? He's 29 years old.
Yeah.
And then there's your number two pitcher for the next fucking 10 years. And
And
then
and he's a proven major league pitcher.
he's one of the best
He
pitchers in
is
baseball.
Corbin Burns is a dog.
A dog.
And we have a million outfielders. Like I asked this to Pete. As a Yankee fan, we think Soto is going to be re-signed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so there's our right fielder for the next 15 years. Judge
Right.
isn't going anywhere. He's our center fielder until we feel like we have to move him to first base to preserve his legs. So he's probably got another 3 or 4 years in the outfield, right? Fair?
If that.
If that. Verdugo is just a placeholder until Dominguez comes back, and Dominguez is probably going to be our left fielder probably for the next 15 years, right?
Hey, pardon me, I forgot about Dominguez. Yes, but I still have to see it when he comes back. I still have to see him perform at a high level when he comes back.
Fair.
I think that's
So,
fair.
it's fair. So, where does Spencer Jones fit in all that?
I don't even know who Spencer Jones is. Like, who is Spencer Jones? Go get pitching. Go get fucking pitching now.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
I don't get it.
No, listen, yeah, guys, it's gonna be one of these years where it's like, okay, we win 98 games, we go to the wild card, and we get swept because we don't have pitching. And it's like every year, it's the same freaking thing until we don't make the playoffs, and then we want to like act like we're gonna jump off a bridge, and then they go trade for a guy like Juan Soto, and we're like, oh, okay, well maybe we're gonna win again. No, I'm sorry, guys, it's not good. Our division got better except for the Red Sox. The Orioles are a big problem. And I'm sorry, we can't pitch with the better teams in baseball. We can't. You know, I love Judge, but do I give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to be healthy this year, all year?
Yes. That was a freak fucking injury. Fuck the Los Angeles Dodgers and fuck their shit ass concrete stadium.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I do have to say that is bullshit.
Judge would have fucking 75 home runs if it wasn't for fucking that concrete wall.
Guys, I just think, okay, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He plays all year. I'm going to give Soto the benefit of the doubt. He rakes all year. We win 98 games and we lose in the wild card or divisional round because we can't pitch with anybody. We cannot pitch with anyone.
Yeah, outside of Garrett Cole, it's nothing but what ifs. And we had an opportunity to get a guarantee number 2 behind Garrett Cole.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
But because we wanted to hold on to this.
If I was Cashman, after I saw Corbin Burns go to fucking Baltimore, I would have been on the fucking bat phone and I would have been like, hey, Blake Snell, you want that extra year? Okay. See you in pinstripes.
Go get Blake Snell. Prove me wrong. Seriously, prove the old head Yankee fans wrong, because those are the ones complaining. The younger ones aren't complaining, but the younger ones also haven't seen a World Series. You know, like
it's by analytics and the win.
Right.
They're all brainwashed. They're brainwashed into not thinking that you could do what it takes to win. They're just brainwashed.
But it's a problem as a fan to think, okay, we haven't been to the World Series since 2009. What's the problem there? What have we done to change it? We haven't done anything to change it. Nothing. The makeup of this team has basically been the same. Now, I will applaud them for actually adding left-handed power, and that's what we should have had the whole time, and we should be lefty dominant in the lineup as far as power hitters go. There's no question about that.
Right. This year, going into this year, they put the most balanced lineup we've seen in the last
15 years. Easy.
I think the lineup is phenomenal. I think the lineup has no holes. I think the lineup is like bam. Like let's get ready to roll. The bullpen is still strong. I wanted the closer. Looks like they're gonna roll out Clay Holmes again. But that Caleb Ferguson is a huge addition that no one's talking about. That guy's a monster lefty. Had a 2.84 ERA over the last 2 seasons in for the Dodgers. That's a really good bullpen arm. We don't have a starting rotation. And I love how the Yankee fans are like, oh, we did so much this offseason. This team's gonna be so much better. Like, who we pitching with?
No.
I hope for the sake of us that Nestor learned how to pitch with the pitch clock, and I hope Rodon figured out whatever the fuck it was in his head, and maybe his back was really fucked up. I hope he's healthy, and they wow us. But
Yeah,
as
that's a
it
lot of hopes and dreams right there, man.
stands right now, I would not bet on that.
No, I don't trust Rodon. I do not trust Rodon at all. Okay, you wanna pitch me Cortez? Sure, because I've seen him do it, and he's scrappy. I like Cortez, but he's an end of the rotation guy. He doesn't belong as your 2 or your 3. He
He's a
belongs as like your 5 or your 6.
he's a 4-5, and that's 4 is pushing it, I think.
4 is pushing it. Yeah, but no, it's the same song and dance every year now. I feel like this year was a little different because we're coming off of missed playoffs and they got to reel the fans back in because everybody's pissed. So no, it's the same pattern. It's the same song and dance. So I'm not going to be overly excited about. I'm going to watch. Of course, I'm going to watch because I'm a fan. But no, I'm not going to go into this year overly excited, making any kind of proclamations that we're going to go to the World Series or anything like that, because I just don't believe we are. But hey, maybe they prove me wrong. I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they prove all of us wrong. But anyway, I know were you guys just ending your Yankee segment?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well,
I got a few more minutes that I could hang out with you guys, and then I got to get back.
all
Well,
right.
while you're here, let's get your Super Bowl.
All right, so
Let's hear it.
I've been struggling with this for about a week as far as the winner goes. It's very, very hard for me to bet against Patrick Mahomes at this point in time. However, I just think that the 49ers are the better team.
Well, they are.
And I think that if McCaffrey has a huge game, I don't think there's any way that the 49ers can lose. And when I look at the Chiefs defense and the way that they play, they're very good at stopping the run. But the Niners got a bunch of dogs on that offensive line. I think that they could push Kansas City around. Joe Tooney is not playing for Kansas City, by the way. That's going to limit their ability to push people around. I just think that the 49ers can and will out physical the Chiefs. And I think Bosa could make a big difference in this game too. So I got Niners 31-28 overtime victory. And I got Travis Kelce retiring and simultaneously proposing to Taylor Swift. And then they both endorse President Biden for re-election, and they both endorse Pfizer, and then they go to Disney World. And even though they lost, because that's what they'll do. But Christian McCaffrey will be the MVP of the game if the 49ers win. That is my prediction.
Wow. That was
I love it.
Pretty
Close to his. Yeah.
my scenario. So my scenario was the Chiefs win because I'm going with how you said the 49ers, they're dogs. I'm going with the experience factor on KC's side. And Travis Kelce is going to be your Super Bowl MVP. He is going to hoist that Lombardi up. He's going to pass it over to Patty Mahomes, and then he's going to turn to his right and drop to a knee. And he's going to propose to Taylor Swift, and they're going to ride off to the sunset.
Good.
I can see it.
Off my television screen for the love of Christ.
Listen, I could see it, and maybe I'm an idiot for betting against the Chiefs. Maybe I am, but I mean, I got to believe what my eyes told me, and that was all year long the 49ers were dominant, and the Kansas City Chiefs weren't. And, Patrick Mahomes does still have bad games here and there, especially on a team like the one that they have now, where they run the ball 30 times a game and they just rely on their defense and special teams to hold down the fort. I don't know if that's going to work against a team like the 49ers, who also are pretty good at holding down the fort. Here's the thing I am really worried about with the 49ers, though. The kicking game. Okay. It's not something that I've been hearing a lot of people talk about on ESPN or NFL Network or anything like that, but Kansas City has a huge edge in the kicking game. I think that's something to look for. So we'll see. I mean, Moody has been very hit or miss this year, especially in big spots, and I don't know if you could trust him that well.
He's
But
a rookie, right?
we'll see. Yeah,
I-
he's a rookie now.
I
Now
think
we've seen rookie kickers struggle and then get to big games like this one, and then turn into legendary kickers. So who knows?
I think it's going to come down to two things. I think we're going to see what the 49ers secondary is made of. If Mahomes has a knack for finding people. So if the 49ers secondary can hang in there, that gives them an edge. Also, Chris Jones is going to be a game changer, I think, on defense for Kansas City. If he could get that push up front and make it rough for McCaffrey to get going, I think those two things are going to be the dynamic of the game. I already said I think it's going to be a high scoring game. 47.5 is the line for the over under. I think we're hammer that over, I think.
Hammer the over.
And I think my little Super Bowl parlay right now, look for anytime tuds by McCaffrey, Kelsey, and Kittle. That three-way right there, smash it.
I like it.
Dan, I do have a question for you that is Jets related.
Okay.
Care to comment on Woody Johnson's comments about the QB2 today?
I actually did not hear what he had to say, so this is breaking news to me.
This is breaking news to
fill me
Dan.
in.
So let me pull up the quote for you.
Let's just put it this way.
It's short.
He melted Zach Wilson. Let's just.
It was pretty.
All right, I need to hear the quote.
It was pretty interesting. I gotta find it. Don't worry. Here we go. Jets, because it's the NFL honors tonight, which all the awards are already being given out.
Right.
Which I'll catch everyone up on in a minute. Woody Johnson told reporters at the NFL honors today, we need a backup quarterback. We didn't have one last year.
He's not wrong.
Nope.
I see no lies there. I mean, honestly, we haven't had a quarterback in the last 3 years. We haven't had a quarterback since we haven't had a starting quarterback or backup quarterback since Ryan Fitzpatrick. So yes, Woody, you're right. We didn't have a backup last year. We also haven't had quarterbacks like ever since I've been watching the team. So I'm happy that, he did what it took to get Aaron Rodgers there. I know that that's still up in the air, and we don't know how it's going to play out.
Oh no, we're losing.
Because we don't know how much
Oh,
the front office and vice. You got me?
Yeah, you're
we got
back.
you now. We got you now.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the gist of it.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay, great. I mean, he can make statements like that all day, but it needs to get fixed. And I don't want to hear any more excuses, because that's what this regime has become really, really good at making excuses. And I get it, when you lose and you constantly lose and you don't think that you should be losing because you think you have a good team, then you're going to make excuses. It's human nature. But at the same time, no, there needs to be accountability. The reason why we haven't won is because we have a good roster with no quarterback play. That's why we don't win. So yes, Woody, you're right. Go make sure that they make the proper changes this offseason. And you're not getting anything for Zach Wilson. Anybody who reports that they might get a late round pick, a conditional pick, okay, maybe.
Nope.
Maybe. No,
Happening.
he's getting cut. He's getting cut. Nobody's going to trade for this guy. Why would you trade for this guy? You don't have to. Just wait for the Jets to cut him.
Mhm.
You don't have to trade for him. So, yeah. So that's what's going to happen. I could see a Jacoby Brissett or somebody like that. You know, I wouldn't mind a Jacoby Brissett as my backup. I wouldn't necessarily mind if Gardner Minshew was my backup. You know, the kid can play. He turns the ball over a ton, but he could play.
New York Jets backup. You ready for it?
What do you got?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I guess it could be worse. I mean, how much better is Jimmy Garoppolo than Zach Wilson?
I think he's better than Zach Wilson.
I think he's better. Yeah.
Right.
Better than Zach Wilson.
I think he would qualify as a backup quarterback.
Correct. Yeah. He's
So
reached that phase. I think he's been in that phase, but he's
So
he's a backup.
so the awards are happening.
Yeah.
These are the updated winners right now. Jim Schwartz.
I am outraged. I just want to say this. Max Crosby got robbed. Max Crosby got 0 first place votes. An outrage. 0. The disrespect on that man who was playing with no knee.
I told you it was going to happen. No one
Yeah.
wanted to believe me.
Bullshit.
Yep. Actually, when the award got announced for Garrett, I went on Bleacher Report real quick, and it was like, who got snubbed? And your boy wasn't even on that list. It was
Fucking
it was
hater.
Watt. It was Watt, who I really think should have won. I think it was TJ Watt personally, and then it was
Ron Bland
Micah Parsons.
1 first place vote over Max Crosby. Bullshit.
Anyway, Jim Schwartz got an assistant coach of the year.
Good for him.
CJ
Yeah, good
Stroud.
for him.
CJ Stroud.
No surprise.
Myles Garrett, Defense Player of the Year.
Coach of the year.
Will Anderson Jr., Defensive Rookie of the Year. So clean sweep for the Houston Texans.
That was picked on this podcast. We unanimously picked that one. So shout out to this.
We
podcast.
did.
Kevin
Yes, we did. We called it.
Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year. I called that one. Beat out
that was
D'Amico
easy.
Ryans. Beat out D'Amico Ryans by 1 vote. Just beat out D'Amico Ryans by 1 vote.
Well, I figured he would win just because he had to go through 900 quarterbacks to get to the playoffs. So I figured that would get him the win with that one.
Christian McCaffrey, obviously Offensive Player of the Year. Dwight Freeney elected to Hall of Fame. Andre Johnson, Patrick Willis, Devin Hester, Julius Peppers, all made the Hall of Fame.
Shout out to Devin Hester getting a fucking Hall of Fame nod.
Yeah. That's pretty special, man. I mean,
you don't
came
see
into the league as a cornerback.
Yeah.
Right? Remember he came in as a corner, and then he became, basically as a rookie, he became a return specialist, and he didn't play much cornerback. And then they switched him to wide receiver and had a little success at wide receiver, but he really was
carved it.
He was just a return specialist.
That's why I'm saying making the Hall of Fame as a kick returner, like
that's a big deal.
Huge. That's massive. Yeah. I mean, growing up, the kick returner was put on the map by Dante Hall. The human joystick. That guy was fire. And then it was kind of Devin Hester came in and passed the torch. I'll never forget Devin Hester returning the opening kickoff of the Super Bowl, taking it to pay dirt. That guy was dog.
Dog. You know, he had that coaching staff for the Colts up all night, the special teams coaches, deciding whether they were going to kick the ball to him or not.
And they did.
And they did, and he made them pay.
Took it for 6.
Yeah. Now, if their team had been better, maybe they could have won. But
again,
that's a different story.
Mentioned earlier was quarterbacks that weren't so special that made it to the Super Bowl. Rex Grossman was a Super Bowl quarterback.
That's one of my huge arguments, Rex Grossman. And he washed out of the league not too long after that. I mean, I don't even remember how we fizzled out. He was kind of just gone after that.
This Giants fan would like to nominate Hostetler.
Oh yeah, of course. Hostetler has to be there.
Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson,
Doug Williams. Doug Williams was really not a great quarterback, and then when they got to the Super Bowl, he threw 4 touchdown passes.
Hey, can you say Jimmy Garoppolo now?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think you can.
You
Sure.
can.
I think you could say Jimmy. I think you could say Trent Dilfer, even though they won, didn't really have much to do with them winning. Brad Johnson, even though they won, didn't really have much to do with them winning.
For sure. I mean,
maybe that's a little unfair. Brad Johnson was a good quarterback. He's more like what you would call a game manager, I guess.
Can we talk about Nick Foles?
Yeah, well, that is such an outlier to me, because what Nick Foles did in that game, and you know, I will forever love Eli, and there are Giants fans out there who don't like Eli, but in order to beat the Patriots teams that he beat, he didn't have to go throw for throw with Tom Brady to do it. Nick Foles literally went throw for throw with Tom Brady and put up absolutely outrageous numbers in the Super Bowl to win that game. I believe we watched that game together at Rizzo's.
Super Bowl, I mean, freaking Andy Reid, dude. He's
already there. He's already in tier 1 to me of greatest coaches of all time, because if you could do it with 2 teams, that puts you on a really, really short list of coaches, and you have basically become immortal at that point. So if Kansas City wins this game, it's absolutely a dynasty. He's absolutely one of the greatest coaches of all time. In my mind, he's one of the greatest either way, whether they win or lose this game. But yeah, no, we have to start putting the respect on Andy Reid's name the way that we do the other greats of all time. I totally agree, Pete. Yeah. But anyway, guys, yo, it was awesome hopping on with you. I miss you. I love you guys.
It was a pleasure seeing you. We miss you. We love you, dude.
Love you guys. Everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy the podcast. Peace.
Dano is a dog.
Love yous.
All right.
What a surprise that was.
What a surprise that was. What a great episode this was right before the Super Bowl. If this doesn't get you hyped for the Super Bowl or for spring training right around the corner, I don't know what does. So
jacked up.
So I think that was the perfect way to end the show right here. Like Dan said, everyone enjoy the Super Bowl. Yeah, let's get ready for pitchers and catchers reporting next week. Let's get the Yankee train rolling. I can't wait to bitch and complain more about this team for the next fucking 8 months, unless they get some type of pitcher, and then I'll be nice and silent. I'll put luck to close the mouth and put the key in and throw it out the window.
I caught the key right there.
Yeah,
he caught
the
key.
So thank you guys so much for listening, watching, all the above.
Subscribe on the YouTube.
The
Subscribe
YouTube
on the
version
YouTube.
is
Like
the
it,
best.
subscribe. Remember, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, Ray's gonna pierce his nipples. He's not here to
Defend
shut
it.
that down. I will make sure it happens.
Listen, might have to happen.
You heard it first.
Heard it here first. All right. Peace out.
Hoorah!